Hello student, myself Poonam Patil, working as Assistant Professor in Chemistry Department of KTHM College, Nasik. Student, in the previous lecture, we have discussed the aliphatic hydrocarbons alkenes. Now, in the today's lecture, we are going to discuss the second aliphatic hydrocarbons, that is alkenes. In the previous lecture, we have already started this chapter aliphatic hydrocarbons. We have already discussed the alkenes. Now, in the today's lecture, we are going to discuss the second aliphatic hydrocarbon, that is alkenes. In this lecture, the session agenda for this lecture, we discuss what are alkenes. What are alkenes? Then after that, we discuss the isomerism in alkene. Means geometrical isomerism, cis and trans isomerism, that part we will discuss in the today's lecture. Then in the third part, we discuss the physical property. Physical properties of alkenes. And the last point, that is the laboratory preparation reactions of alkene. In that, the two parts are there. By elimination reaction and by addition reaction, we discuss this laboratory preparation. Okay, so these are the points we are going to discuss in the today's lecture. Student, alkenes are nothing but these are unsaturated hydrocarbons which having a formula CnH2n. In the alkane, they are saturated hydrocarbons and the formula is CnH2n plus 2. Means in the alkene, the two hydrogens are less than the alkanes. These alkanes are also called olefins. We know that the alkanes are obtained from petroleum, but alkene and alkynes are not obtained from the petroleum because they are more reactive. That's why they are not obtained from the petroleum. They are obtained by cracking of alkanes and we get the alkenes. Okay. So when in the exam the question is what are alkenes, then we write the answer. Alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbons having a formula CnH2n. Alkenes are also called olefins and they having a less number of hydrogen than the alkane. And alkenes are obtained from the cracking of alkanes. Okay. So this is about the what are alkenes. Then the next point is CnH2n. This is the general formula for alkenes. Then the next point is isomerism in alkenes. We know that alkenes are nothing but the carbon-carbon double bond. And the isomerism, it is nothing but the compound which having same molecular formula but the structural arrangement is different, that is called isomer. And the phenomenon, it is called the isomerism. What I am saying here, the compound which having same molecular formula but the structural arrangement is different, that compounds are called isomer. And that phenomenon, it is known as the isomerism. Now, in the isomerism in alkene, ethane and propene is having only one isomer. So here we draw the structure of ethane. Ethane means two carbon atom. So this is the ethane. And propene, one propene, it is also only one structure. That's why we are saying here ethene and propene. These two alkenes is having only one isomerism, while the butene is having three isomers. So we draw the structure of that three isomers. This is 1-butene. Then 2-butene. 2-butene, and the third one is isobutene. Here the formula is C4H8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon atom and 8 hydrogens are there. So the formula is C4H8. While here also the formula is C4H8, and in the isobutene there is a C4H8 formula. Our concept is that same molecular formula, but the structural arrangement is different. That's why these three are the isomers of butane. Isomers of butane. Okay. So these are the three isomers of butane. So only remember that the compound which having same molecular formula but the structural arrangement is different, that compounds are called isomer. Okay. And butane is having three isomers: N-butane, 1-butene, 2-butene and isobutene. Then this 2-butene, it exists in two forms. Here hydrogen atom are present at the top and this methyl group are on the same side. These two methyl group are on the same side. That's why it is called cis isomer, cis butane. While if this methyl group are on opposite side of the carbon-carbon double bond, then it is called trans butane. Cis and trans, these are the two geometrical isomerisms of this butane. Okay. So here we discuss the isomerism in alkene. Ethene and propane is having only one isomer, while butane is having three isomers. Along with that, this 2-butene is having two geometrical isomers, cis and trans butane. Okay. Then the next concept is physical properties of alkene. Physical properties of alkenes are similar to the physical properties of alkane. Means properties are same, alkane and alkenes. The first physical property of alkene is the carbon number C2 to C4. The series, in the alkene series, the carbon from C2 to C4, they are exist in gaseous form. C5 to C18 carbons are in liquid form, and above C18 they are exist in solid form. So the first physical property is that in the chain alkene, C2 to C4 carbons are present in the gaseous form, while C5 to C18 they exist in the liquid form, and C18 onwards they are exist in the solid form. So this is the first physical property. Then the second physical property is, as the number of carbon atom increases, the boiling point is also increases, because more energy required to break that bond. That's why the boiling point is increases. So the second physical property is that as the number of carbon atom increases, as number of carbon atom increases, boiling point also increases. Okay. Then the third physical property, as the branching increases, boiling point decreases. Why? Branching make the less surface area. That's why the boiling point get decreases. So here the third physical property, as the branching increases, boiling point decreases. As the branching increases, boiling point decreases, because the surface area get reduced, and that's why the boiling point decreases. Okay. Then the fourth physical property, the density of alkenes is less than the density of water. This is the fourth physical property. Density of alkenes is less than density of water. Okay, and the last physical property of alkene is, we know that alkenes are non-polar. That's why they are soluble in non-polar solvent and they are insoluble in polar solvent, because we know that light dissolves light. Polar compounds are dissolved in polar solvent while non-polar compounds are dissolved in non-polar solvent. That's why the last physical property shows that these alkenes are non-polar, hence they are soluble in non-polar solvent and insoluble in the polar solvent. So alkenes are non-polar, so they soluble in non-polar solvent. Non-polar solvents such as benzene, chloroform, ethanol, etc. And they are insoluble in polar solvent. Polar solvents are nothing but the water, right? So they are insoluble in water while soluble in the non-polar solvent. So all these are the physical properties of alkenes. In the first, they are exist C2 to C4 exist in gaseous form, C5 to C18 exist in liquid form, and above C18 they exist in the solid form. Second, as the number of carbon atom increases, the boiling point is also increases. Branching increases, boiling point decreases. Density of alkene is less than water. Then alkenes are non-polar in nature. That's why they are soluble in non-polar solvent and insoluble in the polar solvent. Okay. So these are the physical properties of alkene. Then the next point is laboratory preparations of alkene. Understand? Laboratory preparation reactions of alkene. These laboratory preparation reactions are classified into two categories, by elimination reaction and the second one is by addition reaction. So these are classified into two categories, that is by elimination reaction and by addition reaction. We are going to prepare the alkenes in the laboratory. So this by elimination reaction, it is again explained by three methods, by three ways: dehydrohalogenation, dehydrohalogenation of alkyl halides. Alkyl halides are denoted by symbol Rx. So dehydrohalogenation of alkyl halide. D means remove, hydro means hydrogen, and halogen, removal of hydrogen and halogen from the alkyl halide, we get the alkenes. Then next one is dehydration. Dehydration of alcohol. D means again remove, hydration means water. Removal of water from alcohol, we get the alkenes. So this is one of the method for the laboratory preparation of alkene. And the last one is dehalogenation. Dehalogenation of vicinal halides. Dehalogenation of vicinal halide. Vicinal halide means two halogens are adjacent to each other. That's why removal of that two halogens are nothing but the dehalogenation of vicinal halide, and we get the alkenes. Okay. So one by one we discuss this point. The first is dehydrohalogenation of alkyl halide. dehydrohalogenation of alkyl halide. So by taking the example, the idea get clear. We take one alkyl halide, that is 1-bromopropane. Propane means there are 3 carbon atoms and at the terminal there is a presence of bromine. In the IUPAC nomenclature we studied this part. This is 1-bromopropane. 1-bromopropane. Here the halogen is attached to this carbon. That's why this carbon is called alpha carbon. And this one is the beta. The next one is beta carbon. So removal of halogen from this alpha carbon and hydrogen from the beta carbon, we get the alkenes. This reaction, it is happen in presence of alcoholic KOH and heat is provided. So alkyl halide when react with alcoholic KOH or NaNH2, these two are the strong base. Alkyl halide when react with the strong base, that is alcoholic KOH and NaNH2, we get the alkenes. So here the beta hydrogen, so for our convenience we write this beta hydrogen in this way. So it get removed and we get the alkene. Which alkene we get here? CH2. So it is called 1-propene. Okay, so dehydrohalogenation occur and we get the alkene. So student, you only remember that when alkyl halides on reaction with the strong base, that is alcoholic KOH or NaNH2, they form alkene. Okay, but here only one beta carbon is there. That's why we write the product in this way. In some cases, there are presence of 2 beta hydrogens. So at that time, we use the Sedgwick rule. According to Sedgwick rule, we write the product. Okay. So what is that? We discuss now. CH3, CH2. So we take this example. What is the name of this compound? 2-bromobutene. 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 2 means 1, 2. At 2 position bromine is there and 4 carbon atoms are there. That's why 2-bromobutane. Okay. And the bromine, it is present to this carbon. That's why we called it as this is the alpha carbon. Right. And next to this alpha, this one is the beta and this one is also beta. So there are 2 beta hydrogens are present here. So which beta hydrogen get removed and which product is obtained? Here again the alcoholic KOH is used. Heating is provided. We get 2 products, CH double bond CH CH3. This is our first product. Second, CH3 CH2 CH double bond CH2. So in the first product, this beta 1, this is a beta 1 elimination and here this is a beta 2 elimination. This is beta 2. So by beta 1 hydrogen get removed and we get this first product. In this side hydrogen get removed, we get the second product. Out of these 2 products, which product is major product and which one is minor? That can be explained according to the Sedgwick rule. Which rule? Sedgwick rule. This scientist say that in the elimination reaction, more substituted alkenes, they form as a major product. More substituted alkenes means what? Here, the double bond is present at the middle. That's why this carbon is having 1 hydrogen and 1 methyl group. Again, this carbon is having 1 hydrogen and 1 methyl group. Means methyl group is substituted here. So it is more substituted as compared to this one. While in this case, the double bond present here and at this carbon there are 2 hydrogens. That's why it is a less substituted and this one is a more substituted. That's why this form 80% while it is form 20%. So according to the Sedgwick rule, more substituted alkenes form as a major product. And we get this is 80% and this one is 20%. So student, you remember that dehydrohalogenation reaction of alkyl halides. Alkyl halides react with alcoholic KOH or NaNH2. These are the two strong base. In presence of that, they form a alkenes. Okay, but there are presence of 2 beta hydrogen. At that time, we use the Sedgwick rule, and elimination reaction shows by this compound more substituted alkenes form as a major product. Okay, then the next is dehydration of alcohol. The second laboratory preparation is dehydration of alcohols. Dehydration. D means remove and hydration means removal of water molecule from alcohols, we get the alkenes. So this reaction, it is happen in presence of acidic medium. So concentrated sulfuric acid is used and the compound get heated in that acidic solution and we get the alkene. So we take the example here, then the idea get clear. For that again we take one propanol. Propane means it contains 3 carbon atom and one propanol means at the one position there is a presence of OH group. This is called 1 propanol. Okay. Concentrated H2SO4 and heat is provided to this reaction and we get the alkene. Again, this is the alpha carbon because OH is attached to this, that's why we call it as it is a alpha carbon and this one is a beta. So again, OH from this alpha carbon and hydrogen from the beta carbon get removed and we get removal of water molecule and we get the product CH3, CH double bond CH2. So here again for our convenience we write H here and we get the product. It is 1 propane. Okay, it is clear? This is a simple alcohol. That's why we get the alkene, simple alkene. But in some cases there is a presence of again beta, 2 beta hydrogen. At that time we use the Sedgwick rule and we write the product. Okay, for that we take one example. CH3 we take this example. What is the name of this compound? How to write the name? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Select the longest chain. 2-methyl. At 2 position, there is a presence of methyl group. 2-methyl, 2-butanol. This is the nomenclature of this compound. 2-methyl, 2-butanol. So here the valency of carbon is 4. This carbon, it is a alpha carbon and this one is a beta, this one is also beta, this one is beta. So there are 3 beta hydrogens are available. So we consider only 2 because these 2 are same. So 2 beta hydrogens are available here and we write the product according to the Sedgwick rule which we have discussed in the previous reaction. Again, concentrated acid is used. In the acidic medium, elimination reaction occur and we get the 2 product. We write the 2 product here. So this is the first product and in the second product, double bond, it is at the terminal position and we get this product. Okay. So more substituted alkene form as a major product. So see here, this double bond to this double bond, one hydrogen and one methyl group is there. And at this carbon, there are 2 methyl groups are there. That's why it is a more substituted, right? While in this case, this carbon is substituted by methyl group and this ethyl group. And at the terminal carbon, it is having a 2 hydrogen. Hence, it is a less substituted. And this one is more substituted. That's why this first product, it is a major product. It is formed 70% and this one formed at 30%. Okay, so it is clear. According to the Sedgwick rule, we write these two products. More substituted alkene form as a major product according to the Sedgwick rule. So, student, you have to remember that dehydration of alcohol, this reaction occur in presence of acidic medium. For that, we use a concentrated sulfuric acid. We heat the reaction, then elimination occur, water molecule get removed and we get the alkene. If in the reaction 2 beta hydrogens are present, at that time we use the Sedgwick rule. Sedgwick rule, it is nothing but the elimination reaction occur. In the elimination reaction, more substituted alkene form as a major product. This is the Sedgwick rule. Okay. So in next laboratory preparation, last, that is dehalogenation of vicinal halides. Third laboratory preparation of alkene, that is dehalogenation of vicinal halides. Dehalogenation of vicinal halides. So first, what are the vicinal halides? Vicinal halides are nothing but the carbon to which 2 halogens are present to the adjacent carbon. So this is called vicinal compound. So we take the example. So this is 1,2-dibromopropane. This is the nomenclature of this compound. First, second and third. So 3 carbon atom, that's why we write the propane, and 1 and 2 position there is a presence of bromine, that's why 1,2-dibromopropane. Okay, this is called a vicinal halides. So this vicinal halide in presence of zinc or Ki, 2 reagent, zinc or potassium iodide is used and we heat the reaction. So we get the elimination of halogen. Halogen get eliminated and we get the product 1-propene. What we get? 1-propene. These 2 halogen get removed and there is a formation of double bond and we get the 1-propene and the side product, that is zinc Br2. So ZnBr2 is formed. So this is called dehalogenation of vicinal halide. Student, we must know the structure of vicinal halide, means 2 halogens are adjacent to each other. This is called a vicinal compound. From this vicinal compound, there is a removal of these 2 halogen in presence of zinc or potassium iodide. We get propene and ZnBr2 as a byproduct. Okay. So these 3 are the laboratory preparation of alkenes by elimination reaction. So in all these 3 reactions, elimination is occurred. In the first, there is an elimination of HBr, while in the second, there is an elimination of water molecule, and here there is an elimination of halogen, and we get the alkenes. So these 3 are the elimination reaction to get the alkene. Okay. Then the next one is by addition reaction, we are going to prepare the alkenes. So next laboratory preparation of alkene. By addition reaction, we are preparing alkenes in the laboratory. So for that, we take alkynes. Alkynes are nothing but they having carbon-carbon triple bond. This is called alkynes. In that alkynes, we add hydrogen atom. That's why we are saying by addition reaction. This hydrogen, it acts as a catalyst. So reduction occurs and we get the product alkene. Right? So we get alkene. But the reaction, it is not stopped at this stage. This is a continuous reaction. H2 it is present in the reaction condition and we get alkane as a product. What we get? Alkane as a product. This is alkane. So alkynes on reduction, addition of H2 it is nothing but the reduction reaction. Alkynes on reduction with H2 as a catalyst, we get alkene first, and the reaction it is not stopped at this stage, it is continuous reaction. Again this alkene undergoes the reduction and we get alkane, right? But we want to prepare alkenes only. So we stop the reaction at this stage. For that we use a Lindlar catalyst. Which catalyst is used for preparation of alkene here? Lindlar catalyst. So the Lindlar catalyst it is nothing but palladium in presence of DaCO3. This is called Lindlar catalyst. It is called Lindlar catalyst. Here we take one example. This is alkyne to butane in presence of Lindlar catalyst. It gives cis alkane. What we get? We get a cis alkane. In the isomerism concept, we discussed this part, cis butene and trans butene. So here we get cis butene. Why we call it as it is a cis butene? Because two methyl groups are on same side. That's why it is a cis butene. But we want to prepare a trans butene. So at that time we used sodium in presence of ammonia or lithium in presence of ammonia. If we use Lindlar catalyst in alkyne, we get cis butene, and we want to prepare the trans butene. For that we use these two reagents. Out of these two, we use only one. Sodium in presence of ammonia, lithium in presence of ammonia, and we get the trans butene product. That is nothing but, we write the product here, trans butene. Trans it is nothing but two methyl groups are present at opposite side. So this is called trans butene. Okay. So student, you only remember that by addition reaction, alkynes on reduction gives alkenes. We stop the reaction at this stage. For that we use a Lindlar catalyst, and this sodium in presence of ammonia and lithium in presence of ammonia. By these two reagents, we prepare the alkenes. Okay. When we use the Lindlar catalyst, we get the cis alkene, and if we use this lithium and sodium in presence of ammonia, we get the trans alkene. Okay. So we discuss the laboratory preparation reactions of alkenes.